boy! Coming soon, new creator plans on Patreon. No changes for current creators on Patreon. We're announcing new creator plans which will be available later this spring. Current creators on Patreon will see no change to the fees they pay or the features they have, unless they're interested in some of the new stuff we're launching. Translation: we're about to fuck over the users of our site. But if you already have a creator page, we have no plans to fuck you over yet. But just like there's no guarantees for your future on our platform after we've fucked Sargon, there's no guarantee here either. Patreon has grown, and our community of creators has grown with us. We now serve so many different types of creators, from a painter with 100 fans to a creative business with 100,000 fans and a staff of 25. This allows us to tailor our offerings to different types of creators. We're also introducing new payment processing rates for future creators, including a new low rate for payments of $3 or less. These changes will help us invest in the features and services all our creators depend on, and create a strong and independent Patreon that creators can build their businesses on for decades to come. To me, Jack, it sounds like you've taken millions in venture capital, and despite that, your business still isn't profitable. Something I predicted to be the case in my previous videos. So now you have to adjust your business model, aka you have to skim even more off the top from the creators using your service in order to cover your massive bloated overhead. Oh, there's a video where Jack even describes it.
Everything we're announcing today is 100% opt-in for existing creators. So if you like things the way they are and you don't want to change anything, you don't have to.
Opt-in for existing creators, eh? I mean, you're basically shafting your future user base, but whatever. I remember when Facebook's timeline was opt-in only too, and YouTube's new cancerous studio backend is currently opt-in only, but I bet it's going to be required soon enough. Twitch regularly updates its partner contracts without getting the permission or signatures from their partners as well. In tech speak, opt-in for new features, even if they suck, means we'll force you to do it later when nobody's paying attention anymore.
As Patreon has grown, we've seen that we're now serving a lot of different types of creators.
Except people who do porn. You're not really serving them anymore, are you, Jack?
Okay, so let's back up for a second, because you might be thinking, wait, overall, it sounds like the price for the Patreon that I know is being raised from 5% to 8%, and at the same time you're launching these new features and you're standardizing your transaction rate. Patreon, why are you doing this? There are three main reasons. First, creators are asking us to solve problems that we wouldn't be able to solve at our rate of 5%.
The only thing your creators are asking you to solve, Jack, is your allergic reaction to the idea of free speech. And I highly doubt an extra 3% cut will help that along. Keep in mind, this is coming from the company that when it became public knowledge that they had banned Sargon for saying white niggers, while at the same time having multiple pages with the word nigger in their title on their website, they didn't actually delete those pages. They just made it so they don't show up in the search engine anymore. No, seriously. Go to Patreon right now, search nigger. You'll notice that all of those examples of the word that went viral earlier have disappeared, but those pages still exist. Jack is more concerned with public relations than he is with consistent enforcement of his policies.
Current Patreon creators have said that they want us to build some kind of merchandise solution for them to send physical goods to their patrons, and we wouldn't be able to build that or offer it at a 5% rate.
I would not trust Patreon to do my merch. I would not trust you to slip something into the terms of service saying that you own my brand because you send out t-shirts with my brand on them. You've already tried to take control of your creators' off-platform speech and behavior.
These changes will allow Patreon to further reinvest in our core services and give us the fuel to be a strong, independent business for decades to come.
By reinvest, you mean pay off your investors, right, Jack? We already know how much money you've burned through. It's public knowledge. That's enough soy for one day. Here's a peek into the future of Patreon. Creators who launch on Patreon before the plans become available will have founder status and will automatically be enrolled in the Pro plan with their current pricing. So there's 3 creator tiers with different levels of perks. This is something I predicted Patreon would do in a previous video as well, as a way to squeeze a few extra bucks out of people. Patreon Lite. This plan is for future creators who want a simple option to launch a membership without tiers and benefits that they can get up and running within minutes. This plan has no tiers. So with no tiers and a flexible donation amount, why wouldn't you just set up a paypal.me page? Skip the middleman, you keep more of your money. What use is this? Patreon Pro. This plan includes everything Patreon creators have today, plus some new perks. All creators on Patreon before the plans launch automatically get this plan at their current pricing. This is basically what Patreon is right now, but we'll have to see what those new perks actually are. Patreon Premium. This plan is for established creative businesses with a large following who need advanced features and a higher level of service. Premium will have limited availability at launch. This is the no plebs allowed, invite-only, corporate-friendly tier. Gotcha. Let's compare the three. Light's got the 5% income skim that the current Patreon has. You get a page in Patreon, Patreon's private message and public post systems, and access to Patreon workshops. Yep, that's it. No reward tiers, no goals, little customization. The same great price for less stuff. If you signed up late to Patreon, hey, fuck you. Pro's got an 8% income skim. Oh, currently on sale for 5. It contains everything in Lite plus membership tiers, analytics, special offer promo tools, workshops, unlimited app integrations, and priority customer support. Earlier it was said that the Pro plan was everything Patreon is today plus some new perks. What are the new perks exactly? We've got everything in Lite. We've got tiers, analytics, app integration, workshops, I think. Do you mean the special offer promo tools? Is that a perk? Is priority customer support a perk? I mean, if the customer support is no longer requiring creators to give Jacqueline Hart a muff dive in order to use the service after you said a bad word on the internet, I guess that's an improvement. Premium, 12% income skim, on sale for $9, and a $300 minimum fee. So if you're not making $3,300 a month, I guess you just fucking pay more than 12%, eh? And what do you get for it? A dedicated partner manager, probably fucking Jacqueline again. Merch for membership, and team accounts, whatever those are. When's this launching? May 2019. Please transfer your support to subscribestar.com/shortfatotaku at your earliest convenience, guys. Patreon sucks. Why the new plans? The new plans better serve new creators by offering options. No, they take away options and put them behind a higher paywall, just like we all thought you would do. Nobody cares about team accounts. Nobody cares about your merch. Nobody wants to run their company, their brand, or their intellectual property through Patreon because nobody trusts you not to seize it for yourself. The only thing you bring to the market is convenience, and you are making yourself less convenient with each update. What is the change to payment processing rates? Oh, this is interesting. For future creators, there will be 2 payment processing rates. For pledges of $1 to $3, 5% plus 10 cents per successful pledge. For pledges over $3, 2.9% plus 30 cents per successful pledge. For all pledges from patrons outside the US who use PayPal, regardless of the amount, an additional 1% per successful pledge. Remember the massive fuck-up we did back in December 2017? Remember how quickly we walked that back because it was terrible? Yeah, now that we've become emboldened by venture capitalists, Silicon Valley subculture, and new SJWs on staff, we're just going to pull the same stunt again. And unlike last time, we're not going to reverse it, because fuck you, you bigot, we're your employer now. Is the new payment processing rate for future creators higher or lower than what founding creators are paying? There is no one answer because each creator's situation is different. So the answer is yes, you just don't want to say it. All of this is nonsense. It's just clutter. It's Patreon taking more of your money while telling the creators that they should be grateful that Patreon deems them worthy to get paid in the first place. Patreon is not my boss. They process payments. And now that it seems like they're slithering their tentacles into everything they can, it's time to go. If you're interested in supporting me and my work, there's multiple ways to do so unrelated to Patreon. Subscribestar.com/shortfatotaku for a solid Patreon-style monthly donation, before Patreon fuck themselves up. PayPal.me/shortfatotaku for a one-time tip. If you have Amazon Prime, and you haven't pledged your Twitch Prime free sub yet, or you simply want to pledge a sub through Twitch anyway, or you just want to watch me stream, go to twitch.tv/gameboomers. And if you'd actually rather give money through YouTube, I actually have that YouTube join button right beside the subscribe button now. Once I get the reward tiers for it set up, it'll be the same as my former Patreon and my Subscribestar, so donate to whichever you prefer. And of course, no matter which option you choose, and even if you choose none of them, thank you very much for watching. But nonetheless, Patreon's either dying or morphing into another Silicon Valley abomination. I can hear Sargon smuggling in the distance. It's time to go, guys.